Let's take a closer look at the first stage of the storytelling pattern known as the hero's journey, the ordinary world. When you're done watching, we'll talk about 6 significant features of the ordinary world.
Crunchy, creamy, cookie, candy, cupcake. Okay, everybody, let's take it from the top. The stage is set. The night moist with apprehension. Alone in her chamber, the princess prepares to take her own life.
It is far better to nourish worms than to live without love.
She reaches for the poisoned chalice. Meanwhile, the wicked Malvolio plots his ascension to the throne. While her aging father lies gravely ill.
Yes, I'm gravely ill.
Hark! Who goes there? 'Tis I, the much-anticipated hero returning to rescue his emotionally unstable maiden. Unhand her, you jailers of virtue, or taste the bitter sting of my vengeance. The sting of my... Dr. Marks? Dr. Marks, I'm not getting anything from you. People, we've talked about this. Acting is reacting. Victor, you were wooden. There, I said it. Mr. Timms, you were good. Perhaps a little too good. What's that, Victor? My character's undefined? That's absurd. I know who I am. I'm the guy, the protagonist, the hero. Every story needs a hero. I mean, who else is better qualified to bask in the adulation of his numerous companions? The stage is waiting. The audience thirsts for adventure. Who am I?
This is the first step of the hero's journey, the ordinary world. This is where we found Anand in the beginning of the Conch Bearer, a lonely young man working in the tea stall, trying to make a living. In the example you just watched, we see Rango living in his terrarium, pondering his place in the world. In your ELA textbook, this part of a story is known as exposition, and you need to know that exposition and the ordinary world are synonymous. There are 6 functions of the exposition, or ordinary world, and we're going to break those 6 functions into 2 groups of 3. Please open the top green flap of your graphic organizer and label it Exposition. The first important function of the exposition is to introduce the audience to the hero. In both the Conch Bearer and Rango, we meet the respective heroes very quickly. The second important function of the exposition is to tell the reader about the setting. Make sure, though, that setting is described as when and where, or a place setting and a time setting. That information is critical to how the story will be told. The Conch Bearer would be a much different story if it were told on Mars in the year 2110, and Rango would be much different if he lived on a sailing ship in the 1700s. The third part of the exposition is what is the conflict? What is the main problem for the character in the story? We will spend more time on conflicts later. For now, just remember that conflicts can be internal or external. More on that, though, in future videos. All 3 of these pieces are vital to understanding the beginning of a story, and that is called the exposition, or ordinary world. Remember, who are the characters, when and where is the setting, and what is the conflict or problem for the main character. The focus of the ordinary world is to set the stage for the rest of the journey. This is so foundational. It's a very important function in a story, and it allows the reader or audience to connect with the hero. You're very familiar with your ordinary world. In fact, you're probably taking these notes in your ordinary world right now. Take a moment, pause the video, look around. What do you notice? For the most part, the ordinary world is going to be dull or regular. It's not really anything special going on. It's just the normal routines of life. Everything is just the same old, same old. Think of it as the home for the hero. Their everyday life, things are basic. There's nothing surprising going on. And if you were to read a story like that, you would probably become very bored if that lasted for too long. Just remember that the hero is going to be very comfortable with their everyday life, and they can almost go through it on autopilot. They know their rituals and know their routines, and there's Nothing too surprising. And of course, the last function of the ordinary world is to work as a contrast to the special world that we will see later in the story. If an author or filmmaker wants that special world to look very menacing or dangerous, it would be a good idea to make the ordinary world look very plain and regular. That way, when the hero travels to the special world, it will look more spectacular, more ominous. So, to review, exposition or ordinary world, who are the characters, where and when is the setting, what is or are the conflicts. For the ordinary world, let's remember, this is basically the home for the hero. There's not really anything special happening right now. The hero is usually comfortable in their everyday life.